What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders, powered today by BetUS, and we are going to be turning the page, getting ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers while taking a look at some of the game film. And I want to start with what I think is going to be one of the key additions for this weekend, and that is Michael Pierce. So it's not just Michael Pierce, it's more getting back Michael Pierce, having him as a player, but also getting Travis Jones back in a rotation, managing his snaps. We've seen him banged up. He even got banged up last week, and keeping him fresh, keeping him, keeping these two in kind of a 50-50 rotation does wonders for both of them. If you go back and take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers game, Michael Pierce obviously missed the game. Travis Jones was banged up. He only played 37 snaps in that game. That meant 60 snaps for Matabike and 53 from Broderick Washington. So they couldn't play with their top two nose tackles. Now, I know it's a nose tackle, but these can be key figures in these types of games because of what they do for the players around them. And so that's really what we're going to be taking a look at. And so if you go back and take a look at the numbers in that game, the Steelers ran the ball 34 times for only 122 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. But the key here is that they maintained a run game. They stuck to their run game and didn't abandon it. And that opens up things like play action. If you go take a look at Russell Wilson's numbers in that game, and to be fair, he did not have a good game at all. This was a defensive struggle in week 11. But, on play action passes, he went 10 for 13 for 80 yards, had far better numbers than when he didn't have play action. So the ability for a team like that to stick to the run game it can be key. And that's where bringing in a healthy Michael Pierce, rotating with Travis Jones, all big additions for this Baltimore Ravens defense going into this game, especially, George Pickens might not be playing, really limits their outside playmaking ability. Before we jump into the film, lines up ready to go from BetUS. You can go over to betus.com, get in on the action. Here's the lines for this weekend. The Ravens open as heavy favorites, and you can get in on the action by going over using promo code YouTube150. You'll get 150% sign up bonus. You'll get 125% on your next two deposits using that promo code. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring. So I really want to take a look at this. I mean, they're playing the Giants. Considered a tune-up game for Michael Pierce, but you guys will see at what an impact these two can make. So we're going to take a look at both Jones and Pierce in the run game. We're going to start here with Pierce, who's, my God, is he ever wide? And that's always been the strength of Pierce, for a guy that big to be able to move the way he does. It does look like he added a couple LBs during his, and I'm not trying to make fun of him. It's just, that's a reality. He looks huge, but he's still moving just as well. And so you're going to see here, he's able to do stuff like this. Line up over, so he's lined up as a zero shade over top of the center, and he's able to just completely eat that double team. You see the left guard tries to bang down on him. So he's just going to eat that A gap to his left, step in there, and you can see even push 61 out. So he's eating that A gap completely. There's nowhere to go. And then that allows, so two things, because you're going to get the left guard coming over. It creates a one-on-one that will go back to pre-snap. So we're in a bear front here. So we have two defensive tackles lined up as three techs. What did I just do? Sorry. We're going to have two defensive tackles lined up as three tech. You got Broderick Washington and Brent Urban. So once the snap goes, left guard's going to come over. That creates a one-on-one for Urban and Washington. And then Pierce wins his rep, allows the linebackers to step up. And you can see Broderick Washington rip through there to make the tackle. So just the ability to do that, super important, takes away the middle of the defense, forces them to run a bit more off tackle. That allows the sideline to sideline speed of Roquan Smith to be a lot more effective, gets him out in space. It also keeps linebackers clean. We all remember that quote from Ray Lewis when they drafted Haloti Ngata. He said, told Ozzie, go get me a defensive tackle that can keep me clean. That's the type of thing that we're looking for. Now you're going to get Travis Jones later in this game. You're going to watch him anchor against the double team. So once again, that left guard is going to come over. So we're lined up with 2-3 techs again. Snap goes, and then you got Tavius Robinson in one-on-one, Matabike in a one-on-one. And so Travis Jones actually drops his right knee right there and still goes through and makes his tackle. Absolutely outrageous snap here from Travis Jones. This is the type of stuff, again, using a zero shade that you want to see. control that middle of the defense. And when he tries to cut up, not only does he anchor the double team, create one-on-ones for two guys around him, he makes the tackle, just like Michael Pierce ate that gap. So this is what I mean by rotating these guys on a 50-50 basis, keeps them fresh, keeps them in the game, and just really boosts your run defense. And I know in today's game, it's pass defense is becoming more and more important, but against a team like the Steelers who want to be able to run the ball and have that as part of their identity, this becomes critical because the more you can limit them, it creates those third and long opportunities. And if they can run, even if they only run 3 yards a clip, they run on first and second down, now you're at 3rd and 4, that sort of thing. So it becomes very critical very quickly. A couple more reps here. See, again, Michael Pierce eating this double team. So he's going to get the right guard coming across. That's going to create a one-on-one for Broderick Washington, one-on-one for Odafe Owe, and you see him just completely eat that. Now, just to be clear before we go too far, this is what zero shades do. You have to typically double them, but the reason it becomes critical is because Pierce and Jones are two of the best zero shades or one techs in the entire NFL. So not only will they eat double teams and create for around them, but they can make plays on the ball like we just saw. And that's really what the difference is and why it's so important. Get into another snap here. We're lined up as a one tech, and just look at the sideline to sideline speed. I know it doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but when you consider this is like a 340-pound man, he comes off that, gets away from the block, runs down, makes that tackle. It's very impressive stuff. Here you're going to see him once again, just he kind of trips there at the end, but the way he's able to move laterally and wade through traffic, that's what makes him different. So he's going to come and cross the face of the center. So he's going to jump that opposite A gap. You see Washington eating the B gap, and then Malik Harrison stepping up to the opposite A gap. So they have all their gaps covered. Really well done. Nowhere for the running back to go. He tries to jump over to make a tackle on that ball. So again, just that lateral ability, that's really what separates Michael Pierce from the rest of these types of nose tackles in the league. Here we are in the one again. You're going to eat that double team. And then right there, that's really the difference. So, you get some of these nose tackles that can eat doubles, create for others, but he's going to work through it. So as soon as he takes that, you can see him, he's going to corkscrew that right shoulder, that inside shoulder down into the gap, because they probably want to get their center off into the second level. So as they're trying to fight through that double team, the right guard's going to come off. Roquan's able to work around that. And that's what I mean by keeping them clean. So if you're able to combo block and get your second guy into the linebacker, that's what the offensive line wants to do. But when you can hold the double team like that and maintain that leverage, it just becomes a nightmare. So he's going to anchor that. Once the second guy does climb, he makes a play on the ball. Outstanding stuff. Get into some of these Travis Jones snaps. And there's a one tech. You see him, he ends up with almost 3 guys on him at one point. 3 guys right there. And he's just going to hold that ground. So he just squares up right there. He takes a hit from all 3 and then works inside. That hand fighting here. This is actually going to be a play made by Matabike, but this is the QB sneak, and you're going to get Travis Jones and Matabike both diving at the center's knee here. See right there, and that just stacks him up. So he tries to go to Matabike's side away from Jones, and that creates the play for Matabike. So that's really what this defensive line can do when everybody's healthy, which is critical. Now we're in the Wildcat. I believe this is a 4th down again. And so we're going to get that direct snap. So you got Travis Jones here as the one tech, or a bit of a 2-eye. And you're going to see right there, he's going to lift with that left hand and then get inside, make a play on that ball. So just doing things that you don't see from nose tackles. Typically you'll see them eat space and eat doubles, but Jones and Pierce can make plays on the ball, and that's the difference. So here we're going to once again work across, make a play on the ball. Just doing things that you don't see from these types of guys. And really tough matchup for Zach Frazier. He's a guy like Tyler Linderbaum, where very athletic, a little undersized, and getting him out in space is the key. So if we can get these guys in this zone scheme that you're going to get from Arthur Smith this weekend, eating those double teams and making plays on the ball, making Zach Frazier have a hard day, keeping him out of the second level, that's a huge advantage for the Baltimore Ravens defense. Threw in a couple snaps here. I mean, it was hard to do much in the pass rush because if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll see I tweeted it out this morning. I think it was Tommy DeVito had a TTT, so a time to throw of 1.98, which is absurdly low. To give you an idea, ESPN tracks pressure at 2.5 seconds. So his average throw was half a second shorter than what would even count as a pressure. So there's only so much we can glean from the pass rush. But what you will see is both of these guys, we'll look at a couple with Pierce, couple Jones, they can push the pocket. And once again, what that does is forces double teams and creates one-on-ones for Nnamdi Madubuike. That's really how he had a lot of his production last year, just because these guys would create those one-on-ones and Madubuike would take advantage of them. And I think not having a healthy Travis Jones and having Michael Pierce out of the lineup for so long really had an impact on Madubuike and what he can do. So you're going to see here, starting off in that one tech, and there's that lateral ability. So he doesn't get the sack, but he basically causes that sack just with his ability to adjust to the quarterback. And then you're going to see here, that's what I'm talking about right there. Pushes that pocket. This is the Odafe Owe penalty. So he gets a hands to the face call on Illuminor here to the outside. But you see Michael Pierce moving the pocket, collapses. As he tries to rush, he's able to tackle him. So that's the ridiculous stuff Michael Pierce can do. Once again, ends up with a one-on-one. And this play is exactly why he'll get double teamed. So you're going to get a slide from the center over to Brent Urban. That creates this one-on-one with Michael Pierce. And just good luck blocking him one-on-one. He can just push you down the pocket so damn fast. So again, doesn't get a sack on that play, but pretty much the cause for it because he collapsed the pocket so quick. Travis Jones here creating havoc in the stunt game. So you're going to see him eat this A gap. Kyle Van Noy come around, balls out so quick, can't really get even a QB hit. But that's really what these two can do in the pass rush game. So phenomenal duo. I think they're going to have a major impact this weekend, and really looking forward to this one. Looking forward to what they can do against Zach Frazier, limiting that rookie. He's a hell of a player. So really looking forward to that. So if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video.